Hi, welcome to our first episode of Unfolding Realities 2022. This is where we learn, we grow, and we share knowledge. We're all about sharing, imparting knowledge, and we build our lives. Well, for today, we'll be looking at business, specifically Forex trading, and joining us today, we have Bliss. Apparently, he dropped out of med school to pursue Forex trading. Well, is it profitable? Let's see on the other side. Bliss, good morning. We're excited to have you today. How are you?
Good morning to you. I'm very fine. And how are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm really excited, especially that we are going to be discussing Forex, something that a lot of people are now venturing into. But firstly, who is Bliss?
Okay, so Bliss is a full-time Forex trader, a part-time student.
Okay.
In general, I can say I'm an investor.
An investor?
Yes.
Okay, so how did your Forex journey start?
I started back in 2019 when I was still in school, med school to be specific. Yeah, and that's why it got started.
Okay, so you're saying you started the time you were in school. Are you still in school?
I'm still in school. The only difference is that I'm no longer doing what I was doing back then.
Okay, so what happened? You said you are in med school, but
yes.
How did the transition happen so quick, and what caused it?
Okay, yeah. So it was as a result of where I got in terms of Forex. Besides that, had now come to a position where I fully understood what I truly wanted to do in life. Okay. Yeah. So after looking at where I was in Forex, I was like, you know what? I think med school is kind of taking so much time from me. And if I can take some of that time, I mean all of it, and focus it on Forex, I think I would do amazing things. Yeah, so that is one of the reasons. Then another reason was that I would just get demoralized when lecturers would come in. The doctors would come in and they're like, you know what, and they had the whole night and all that, had not even gone home and all that, and I've just come here to teach, blah blah and stuff like that. And I look at their salary scale. I'm like, they're putting in so much work, but here I am. I can just be seated at my place, pressure free, and make so much. In fact, more than what the doctor gets. So I was like, you know what? I think I have found what I'm supposed to do in life.
And dropping out of school, what was the reaction from your parents, considering the fact that they were paying for your school?
Of course, just like any other parent, they were concerned. Why do you have to do this? Why can't you just finish up, and if you want, you do other things? But of course, at that particular point, I had already made up my mind. Because I didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm stopping medicine and do that. No, it's a decision that I had to carefully think about. It took like a whole year. I was just thinking about it, debating in my mind. And yeah, of course, it was also at a particular point where they had seen that I was independent. I was able to provide for the family and for myself. So there wasn't so much resistance. They just asked me a few questions and all that, and they said, I think you know what is best for you. Go ahead. Yeah.
So considering you dropped out of school and ventured into Forex, where did you get the money from?
Yeah, the money that I invested in Forex, of course, sometimes I would invest the money and I would lose it. Yeah, so sometimes it would come from, parents would send you some money for, for things to do when you're in school and all that. You just want to buy a few things there. So what I would do is that sometimes I would sacrifice. Instead of getting a bus, because I used to go with a bus. Yeah, instead of getting on a bus, I would walk. So that I get some of that money and use it to fund my trading account. Yeah.
Okay, so offset, I remember you had mentioned to say there was some point where you used up money that your parents sent for you. Just kindly shed more light on that.
Okay. So that was before I had started trading.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was that I was initially doing network marketing.
Oh, okay.
And you know, as long as there's something that is trending, network marketing is something that was trending back in the day. I don't know about now.
Okay.
My focus is no longer there. Yeah. So a lot of people are going into it and all that. And I just happened to be one of those people.
Okay.
So I got into it, but then it came in different forms.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that I didn't really have more information about what it was. So I just, okay, it's network marketing, I'm going to it. So I invested with a particular company. I put in money where they told us, okay, you know what? You put in this much and you're going to get all these returns. And I was like, you know what? This is it. This is where I say bye to poverty. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got part of the tuition fees. Nobody knew except my brother. I was staying with my brother. Yeah, I got part of it. And I was like, you know what, this is legit. In fact, he encouraged me. He also invested. It's like, you know what, we're going to get back the money. So I got part of the tuition fees and I invested in that business.
Okay.
Now, the business didn't work out. So I lost the money. I lost the money. And that is where now, I think I started learning about Forex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you spoke of the aspect of information. Now, when it comes to Forex trading, how did you learn to trade? Did you go to school for it? Did somebody teach you? Did you have to pay?
Okay. So I didn't actually go to like a physical school and all that. Initially, it started with me searching online. I have to mention, I got the idea from my friend. Yeah.
Okay.
He told me, you know what? I heard something, you know, I heard from somebody. There was this other lady at school. Yeah. She mentioned, she's not even, you know, Zambian.
Okay.
She mentioned Forex and all that. So the guy had even downloaded, there's what we call MT4. He had downloaded MT4 and was showing me, yeah, this is it. You can trade any currency pair of your choice and all that. I got really interested in the thing. And the fact that it was my friend, somebody that I really trust and all that. So I was like, this is the deal. Because, you know, we're pushing powers together. I'm like, this is the deal. Yeah. So that is where I learned about Forex. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to try to find somebody to teach me how to trade. But then the person that wanted to teach me how to trade, that was available at that particular time. We didn't have a lot of people that would teach Forex. No. At that particular point, we didn't. In Zambia, no. Except maybe in other countries. So I contacted the person. Are you available, you know, to teach me and all that? He said, yes, I'm very much available, but you have to pay me. In fact, he told me I had to pay him 2,000 kwacha.
2,000 kwacha.
But I didn't have that 2,000.
So what did you do?
Yeah. So I told him, okay, you know what? I'm going to try to source for funds and I'm going to pay you so that I learn. Because I believe in the principle that, you know, if you have to learn something faster, you have to at least emulate or follow in the footsteps of those that have been ahead of you.
Okay.
So I'm a strong believer of that. So now, as I was looking for the 2,000 kwacha, I was learning also online on YouTube. So I got to a point where I think I had learned so much, and I checked with what my friend was learning from him. It wasn't adding up. I think I was ahead.
Okay.
Yes. So I was like, okay, you know what? At this particular point, let me try to go on like this and just see how it can go. Then I happened to find myself in a group for a certain guy from Ghana.
Where was that? Was it online?
Yeah, it was online. I just found, I don't know how I got in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a thing whereby I think I found the link, then I don't know, but I found myself in his channel. Yeah, and he was teaching on Telegram. Okay. Every time he would say, okay, 19 hours we're going to have lessons and all that. At that particular time, I was just learning things and I didn't really know how to use the information. So I was just learning, just absorbing information. Now, when that guy started teaching, it all started making so much sense.
Okay.
Yeah. I would go an extra mile. He would tell us, okay, you know what? Next time we're learning this, I would go ahead in my spare time, learn before he comes to teach. So that when he comes, I would ask him questions and all. He was rarely online. Okay. So when he's teaching, that is the only time you have to ask him questions. So I would also, you know, learn in advance and all that. Okay. So that is the beginning of my Forex journey.
Okay, so who inspires you in this journey?
Okay, when it comes to Forex trading, there are two people that I really looked up to. I still look up to them. These guys are South Africans. Okay. One is considered to be the best Forex trader in Africa. Then another guy is just a millionaire in South Africa. So the guy that I mentioned earlier, the guy that is considered to be the best in Africa is called Refwen. Okay. I've always looked up to him Yeah. Then there's also a guy called FDK. These guys, I mean, I like the idea that, you know, at a very young age, they had nice cars, you know, private jets and all that. I'm like, oh, that is the life I want to live. Yeah.
Okay.
So it started from me watching their lifestyle, and I discovered their Forex traders. And that just used to give me that push to say, yeah, you know what, you have to reach there. So I really look up to those guys. I still do. Yeah.
Okay.
So those are some of the, those are the two guys that I really look up to.
And what about, do you have any Zambian traders that inspire you?
Yes, of course I do have quite a number of Zambian traders that inspire me.
Okay, just mention two.
Yeah, so I have Solomon Sage that I really look up to. Sometimes I trade with him and all that. Then I also have another guy called Trial.
Okay.
This is a guy that also introduced me to a whole new concept. Yeah, I haven't forgotten. That guy is like, he's good like that. Yeah, so I really look up to those guys. Of course, there are a number of people. Of course, those that are also, you know, starting up and all that. But if I have to mention, I have to mention those people.
I know that learning is a process, but for you to get to learn and understand the basics, how much time did it take?
It took about 1 month.
1 month.
That is for me to understand. I'm sure if anybody, you know, who knows Forex, they will understand there's something that we call price action. So for me to learn price action, it took like a month, a whole month, just learning price action. Candlesticks, how price is moved and all that. It took about 1 month.
And month
yeah, and it wasn't like a by the way thing that you just do when you're free. No, because I wasn't doing a lot. I was just staying with my brother. Yeah, and 3/4 of my time, if not 4/4 of my time, yeah, I would always be on my laptop browsing about Forex, learning more information about Forex. Yeah, I had limited time to sleep, no time for play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forex is a business like any other business. What losses have you incurred thus far? Okay,
so we're almost losing money almost on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah, but the idea is the idea of consistency. You might lose, maybe you lose $100, but on another trade you make $1,000. You see? So despite the fact that you've lost $100 today, but maybe in the evening you make about $1,000. That's a win on the end. Of course, if I have to mention how much I've lost, the highest amount I lost at that particular point was like 20,000. I lost it in a week. Yeah.
So how did you feel about losing that much money?
I got depressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I got depressed. Although I didn't understand I was actually getting depressed. So after losing the money, first of all, I became very scared of Forex, trading in general. I became so scared because I had lost everything that I had in my account. Now it meant that I had to start from square one. Yeah. So now, after losing, I stayed back. Now, in the process of staying back, I was like, okay, I was always convincing myself that, you know what, I'm not bad. I'm not a bad trader.
Okay, so for how long did you stay back?
I think for 1 month.
1 month.
1 month. Stayed back, away from the markets. But I was always looking at the markets, trying to analyze how it's moving here and there. Yeah, but trading, I could not trade at that particular point. I was so scared to trade. I was so scared to trade. Yeah. So that is it.
But then how did you overcome the depression you had gotten into? What did you do?
Okay. Yeah. So one thing that really helped me, I don't know if that is the most important thing that helped me come out of that position. It was really a bad step because I wasn't trading, I wasn't making money and all that. Yeah. A friend of mine, Solomon Sage, posted a video of where I had started like with $50 that I had made about maybe $3,000 in about 30 minutes.
Wow.
And he posted that video and the caption was like, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Blissbilliondollar.
Wow.
So I watched that status on his WhatsApp live. I got so emotional. I looked at myself and I was like, I used to do this, but here I am. I can't even take a trade, even with the smallest lot size, as what we call a lot size.
Oh, yeah.
So I picked up my phone call and I called the guy. I said, bro, thank you so much for the video that you have posted.
That's how you got back on track?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, give me 1 week, 2 weeks, I'm gonna be back and we're going to be making money. And that is how it happened. Boom, I started trading again.
So in a week or two, you were back on your feet.
In a week or two, I was back on my feet. But then I had not made like the entire $20,000. No. I had not made it. But I now just got to a position whereby, okay, I still, just that. The rhythm, you're like, okay, the rhythm is there. So whereby you're making consistent profits. Yeah.
Okay, so for someone who would want to venture into Forex, minimum how much in quarter do they need to get started?
Okay. So with Forex, it varies from one broker to another.
Okay.
So there's what we call a broker. A broker is simply the middleman between you and the market. So you can't go straight to the market, you or maybe me being Blissbilliondollar, I go direct to the market. No. I have to go through a media. And that media is called a broker, and it's just a firm.
Okay.
So different brokers have got different initial deposits. Others have got $1, others $10. The broker that I currently use, the minimum is $10. Okay. But of course, to be realistic, you can't go into business and like, $1. I want to trade with $1. That's not realistic. Okay. Yeah, so different brokers have got different minimum amounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so even as we close, what's your word to somebody out there doing any form of business that is at the verge of giving up? What's your word to them? Maybe they want to stop because things are not going well, so many losses. What's your word? Yeah.
So if I have to be specific, if somebody is involved in Forex trading, of course with Forex trading, we have maybe parents that do not understand that you can just literally sit on your computer and download money from the internet. Okay. Because obviously they were born in the BBC, born before computers, so they wouldn't understand. So there's always that challenge where people won't understand. They feel maybe you're just excited about something, you just had some motivational speaker talk to you like that, and sometimes relatives are not in support. Maybe even partners, they're not in support of that thing. But what the person that is able to see where I wanna be is me. So if anything, those external factors shouldn't be like something that you take personally. I do get advice and all that. People should be able to get advice from others, but it shouldn't interfere with what they truly believe in and what they see is possible.
Okay. So for someone who would love to learn from you, where can they catch you?
So I do have a YouTube channel where I share just a few things, but of course I've also started sharing how somebody can learn Forex step by step. Okay. That is the journey that I've started this year, 2022. Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. It's called Billionaires Trading Academy.
There you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Facebook, we have a page called Billionaires Trading Academy. That's for the company. Yeah.
Wow.
that's for the company. Then I also have my personal page. It's called Blissbilliondollar. Okay. Both on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So on YouTube, it's Billionaires Trading Academy. Also Facebook. Then Instagram, it's just Blissbilliondollar, and TikTok, Blissbilliondollar.
How did the name, I know I'm done, but how did the name Billiondollar come about?
Okay. So the name Billiondollar. I've always looked up to a certain man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from the US. His name is Wesley Virgin. Those are the official names.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but he calls himself Wesley Billiondollar.
Wow.
Virgin. Yeah. So he always used to say, back in the day when I was following him, he always used to say, every time ensure that you surround yourself with things that you want to achieve in future. If you want to make a billion, if you want to be a billionaire, if you want to be a millionaire, write the word millionaire everywhere in your house.
Wow.
Yeah. On your phone, write the word millionaire there. So for me, when he said his name, he mentioned where it all started from. I was like, you know what? I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire. So I said, you know what? My name is Blissbilliondollar. Because I want to be a billionaire. Not like a small time billionaire. Big time billionaire where I can bless nations, where I can bless different people and all that. And that is where I'm heading to.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is how the name got started.
There you have it. We just unfolded the reality of Bliss, a Forex trader, and his story clearly shows that Forex trading is very possible and profitable, but then what happens from now is all dependent on you. Unfolding realities, revealing realities.